Copper cable can be used for multiple applications, whether it's for video, data, or just an electrical control system or fire alarm system capability. Anytime you need an electrical signal to travel from one distance to another, copper cable can be used. What we're seeing these days is copper cable is becoming a little bit more obsolete as systems are required to produce higher bandwidth transmissions as well as at faster rates. That's why we're seeing that now fiber optic cable is going to be used to replace copper cables because it allows both higher transmission rates as well as higher bandwidth. Depending on the system, the only real advantages of using copper is when you're having a dedicated system over a short run. Fire alarm systems would be a great example of this because normally that's very dedicated and you're running a very short distance. Anytime that you have a longer distance or you're looking for a higher transmission rate, copper cable will be less functional than a fiber optic cable. Fiber's main applications are for data and telecommunications, but it is now being used for multiple systems, whether it's wind farms, solar farms, and the main purpose of that it's being used there is in order to figure out which way the turbine should be facing in order to be the most efficient, to capture the most energy and transfer that into the system. Same thing applies with solar farms. If you think about the solar cells, they want to have the best angle to the sun, and again, in order to be most efficient. One of the bigger applications that we're seeing fiber optic cable in right now is in the stock market. The speed of someone's transaction, whether they're buying or selling a stock, is really important because if you can get your sale or trade in before somebody else's, that will affect the stock price in your favor. So this is where we're seeing the most use of fiber optic cables is anytime the speed or the accuracy or the timing of a signal getting to the end is important and a necessity. There's really no industry that couldn't get a better rate using a fiber optic cable as opposed to a copper cable. It really depends on what the industry is trying to achieve. Right now, stock market and any kind of brokerage houses, they're going strict into fiber optic cable. Your cell phone companies, they're building data centers all over the country in order to handle the increased bandwidth of text messaging, internet calls, as well as transferring your phone calls from one system to the other more quickly. One of the biggest places the fiber optic cable is being used is in cable TV providers as well as your internet providers. One of the things that they use it for is the backbone. And when we say backbone, this is where the fiber optic cable is running from pole to pole on your street, as well as then fiber to the home. Fiber to the home is bringing that fiber optic cable from the pole into your home. One issue that people are running into, though, is these systems are only as strong as their weakest link. Since most houses are wired with copper cables and don't have the transmission rates of fiber nor the bandwidth, that is your weakest link. So while you may have all of the best speeds coming into your house, what's wired within your house will determine the rate and the efficiency of the system being used. That's why more people prefer fiber optic cable because, again, it will give you a better transmission rate, allowing for a clearer signal and a little bit faster of that nature.